If you need to know how to smoke a fantastic turkey for this year's Thanksgiving, this might be the video for you. Hey guys, this is Steve over at Cookout Coach on a brisk morning here in wild and wonderful West Virginia. So what better time to do a turkey video than today? And what we're going to do today is a simple smoked turkey recipe that is guaranteed to wow everybody that comes to your Thanksgiving dinner this year. So when you think of turkey, a lot of people will think about brines, and brines are a great way to do turkey. But something I discovered a couple years ago, and I'll put a link down to a page that describes it better than I can in the description, is a dry brine. And I love poultry that's dry brined. It's simple, it brings out the natural flavor of that poultry, and it turns out great. So what we're going to do with this one today, we're going to keep it real simple. No 5-gallon buckets, no huge Ziploc bags. We're just going to dry brine this bird, and all we're going to do to dry brine this, we're going to get out some kosher salt. You can do some other interesting things with dry brines, but this one's easy. Kosher salt. You're going to salt the whole bird. Specifically, I want you to really get your hand up under that skin and try to get some salt under that skin, because if you can get your seasonings, dry brine included in that, up under the skin of that bird, it's going to make a world of difference in how this Thanksgiving turkey tastes. So once we get that dry brine, we're going to do this the night before. We're just going to put it back in our fridge, let this bird rest. So the day of the cook, we're going to get our bird back out of the fridge. You'll notice that the skin might look a little translucent or tight. You're on the right path, because you got to remember, with the smoked bird, we're not necessarily going to get crispy skin, but we want bite through skin. We want it borderline crispy, and part of the way to do it is to pull the moisture out of that skin. So if it looks translucent, looks tight, you're on the right path. So to season this up, we're going to do two things. Our first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit it with a good rub. Now, we do a lot of barbecue on this channel, but when we're talking Thanksgiving turkey, I don't necessarily want those sugars. I don't necessarily want those barbecue flavors. I just want a great savory rub. And what I'm going to use today is this Char griller chicken rub. Now, the ingredients in this are just black pepper, garlic, onion, salt, chili powder, thyme, and parsley. The way I like to test them is I like to open them up and take a smell. And if it smells right to you, something about, I refer to these generally as AP seasonings. This one's got a little bit more of a chicken flair to it, but the smell on a good AP seasoning, I can tell you I could use this on about anything, not just chicken, and it'd be great as a base layer. But yeah, so we're going with Char grilled chicken. Use your favorite poultry seasoning. If you want some of those barbecue flavors in there, go for it. But I will caution you, if you have some more sugary based barbecue flavors, you better watch your temperatures. You could burn those. But for today, no sugar for us. We're just going to go simple seasoning. Again, we're just going to go just like we did with the dry brine. We're going to hit everything, and we're going to do our best to get up under that skin, because the payoff for doing that is just going to be amazing when you get to eat this bird. So the final way we're going to flavor this bird is with an injection. Now, what I'm going to be using today is some Cosmos Q wood-fired chicken. I had some of this at the house from all the competition I do. But, it doesn't have to be Cosmos. It could be Tony Chachere's butter injection. It could be, I think there's a brand called Cajun Injector. There's several brands of ready-made injections at your local grocery store. You can go as boutique or as, grocery store as you want to with this. Just, I'm focused on getting some moisture inside this chicken. I love Cosmos products. I know what this wood-fired chicken tastes like. It's going to be great in this turkey. The other thing I love about Cosmos injections, since they're in powder form, is they mix so fast. Just a few shakes of the bottle, they're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and get this mixed up, and I'm going to start injecting. I want to go long ways into the breast, because I don't really want to poke a whole lot of holes in my skin. I want the presentation on this bird to be absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to go long ways into the breast from both ends. Just get as much of this injection in there as we can, and you'll know when you've got a bird full up. It'll just start spitting the injection back out when you try to put it in there. But you'll see this bird puff up, and you'll just know that you're getting plenty of moisture in there, and it'll be there when you go to cut it open. That's all there is to it. 3 steps to seasoning this bird: a dry brine the night before, some good rub, and a good injection. We're ready to go. Now we've got our Char griller Akorn rocking and rolling at about 300 degrees. Now, some people out there, I understand you don't have a smoker that will go up to 300 degrees, or you don't have a smoker that you can run at 300 degrees very reliably. Run it as high as you can. Most of them will at least get to 275. Run it at 275, follow these same instructions, you'll be fine. But we're going to be running at 300 today on the Akorn. So now the Akorn's been up to 300 for a while, stabilized. We're going to go ahead and put our bird on. You might notice I've got a drip pan underneath this bird. That's purely for cleanliness. I wouldn't use these drippings for any kind of gravy. It's been my experience that any kind of liquid inside of a smoker just absorbs smoke to the point where it gets bitter. If you're gonna want to make turkey gravy, I would take, you know, the giblets, the neck, whatever that came inside the bird, which we've removed, and go ahead and just use those to make your gravy. I wouldn't focus on the drippings from this bird. One last thing I didn't mention is I did cut up 2 apples and shove them into the cavity of the bird. Now, some people will say that that doesn't matter for even cooking. Here's my thought on it. I haven't done enough turkeys to know for sure, but what I do know is that a smoker is different than an oven in that our smokers are all working on convection. Even though these Kamados don't even need a whole lot of air to run, they're still running by moving air through that cooker. So if we've got air blocked off from hitting on the inside, the back of those breasts, which we're worried about drying out, or it should be the thing we're most concerned about drying out, the less airflow we can put over top of it, the better off it'll be. So by shoving that apple in there, we only allow airflow to travel over the front of the breast, which will slow down its cooking, which will help everything else cook in the same time with it. So we're going to go ahead and let it rock and roll. We'll check on it every hour. I'll bring you guys back whenever I'm going to put the probe in. Alright, so this is us about 2 hours in. Everything's looking real nice. That skin's getting nice and round. I was worried a little bit about the wingtips, not tucking it in, but I wanted to leave it out. And also the leg bones here. I was prepared to foil wrap them if I needed to, but they look like they're doing just fine. So here at the 2 hour mark, I'm going to go ahead and get a probe into the breast here. And I'm also going to ramp that temp up to about 350. I want to see if we can't crisp that skin. Now, if your smoker won't go that high, don't worry about it. Just keep on chugging. But it's Kamado. I mean, it's built to rocket that temp if it wants to. So we're going to go ahead and crank that temp up, see if we can't get that skin a little bit crispy. All right, stay tuned. Now what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go ahead and crank this Akorn up a little bit. And we're going to let it rock and roll between 350 and 400 degrees because that's where these Kamados shine. You know, if you need to change that temperature and you need to dial it up like a rocket. If you can't do that, if you have a hard time adjusting your temp up any, don't worry about it. You'll still get delicious, great skin. But I want to try to see if I can put just a little bit of a crisp on the skin. So we're going to go ahead and let this Akorn do what it does. We'll see you back when it's all finished up. Alright guys, there it is. Just got a notification we'll hit 165 in the breast, so I'm going to go ahead and check that off camera with an instant read, and if that's right, we'll pull this off and let it rest. Alright, see you in a few. So this cook took us somewhere in the neighborhood of 2.5 to 3 hours, including the rest, depending on how long you want to rest the bird. I'd recommend not resting your turkey over an hour. Poultry, in my experience, doesn't love resting. It will, and the turkey is a bigger cut, so it'll do better. But I'm more concerned about that skin. So I like to let it go somewhere between a half an hour and an hour. But once it's an hour, I think it's time to eat. Which, for us, it's time to eat. But real quick, what we did, we dry brined the night before. Real simple. Get up under that skin. We seasoned with some of our Char griller chicken seasoning. Again, get up under that skin. And we injected with some Cosmos Q wood-fired chicken. Use whatever injection you like. You know, if you like Tony Chachere's Creole butter, do that. I think Cajun Injector is the same way. I hope I'm getting that brand right. If you just, I've melted down butter myself and added some salt, pepper, and garlic into it, and just seasoned it to my flavor. There's a million ways to do an injection. I just wanted to get some more moisture inside of that. Now, if you want to do it with fat, if you want to do it with commercial product like Cosmos, you know, do whatever you want to do, but get it in there. It's you don't have to, but man, you're gonna love it if you do. And then we just let it cook. You know, we had stable temps. We sat at 300. If you can only do 275, do 275. Adjust your times accordingly. You know, that's one thing about barbecue. It's done when it's done. And this is done. So let's go ahead and see if we can't carve it up and get a bite. All right, here we go. Let's get into this breast meat. Oh, yeah. That is moist. Oh, it smells fantastic. That moisture is all there. I'm going to get a cut of this. You know, I'm going to have to ask you to excuse me right now. This is how I do it. Oh, man. I'm going to try it right now off camera. Whew. Alright, let's get a taste. All right, here we go. Lord, that's good. All right, so I've heard people say before, I'm just going to address this real quick. If I brine or dry brine and I use a rub with salt in it and an injection, is that going to oversalt my turkey? Answer is no. Turkey is such an empty canvas whenever you start working on it. It'll take on whatever flavors you need it to take on, and the simple dry brine plus that Char Gorilla chicken rub plus Cosmo's wood-fired chicken, this turkey is... I don't even really like turkey very much, and this turkey is amazing. And then the best part, pull the skin up here. This is skin, just pulled off there. It's not super crispy. It's not like you fried it, but it's crispy. Crispy. Most importantly, this is the most important thing on any poultry you're gonna smoke. We rendered the fat from under that skin. The dry brine helped with that. Our temps were very important in that. You gotta render that. Now, if something happens and your fat doesn't render under your skin, that's where the bad smoke flavor is gonna get bitter. But don't worry, just don't eat the skin. The rest of the bird will be great. But I'm telling you, if you follow these instructions, you will end up with some delicious crispy skin. I gotta get this inside, gotta feed people, but appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. How do you like to do your turkey? You know, comment down below, let me know. Let me know if you try this one. But till next time, y'all take it easy.